Hey, welcome back, to the beautiful redneck channel where we just do it all day long. You know what I say, my friend? Yeah, yeah, what's up? So, I got this thing fired up today. Spitting fire right out of the head. Felt great. Felt amazing. Started, I got to this part yesterday, pulled the old engine out and everything. Uh, Made it to here. I got the rear end to strip down, and need to remove the footsteps and that. I should have the rubber piece for this. Yeah, I see it from here. So I'll get the wiring that I need to redo because this is single wire. It's like it's really like hard. It's just hard wire. It's it's not little strands of wire, it's just one wire. One copper wire. I need to go get a vacuum pump, like a fuel vacuum pump for that motor, and need to get bushings for my cast iron front end so I could throw it in there. Started cleaning the frame. You can see it's getting there. There's still some grease and oil on it. Started, since I had access here already, I just sprayed the greaser and started wiping it with paper towels. Try to get the most of the crap off. Yeah, I didn't do much on it today except get the motor. Like, I set the motor in just to see if it would fit and do try to put the hood back on to see if the hood would fit. If I'd have to trim the hood, don't even need to trim the hood. It's a split hood, so I had to remove these off of the hinges. So it now has like two motions to open it, which is freaking dope. So you slide it forwards and then pop it open. It's freaking amazing. It's like the Lambo doors of tractor hoods right now, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, since I'm be stripping it, I'm gonna take off those parts that I was gonna use to make the front bumper. So my plan for here basically is I'm gonna take this seat, I'm gonna hack a chunk out of it on both sides. Gonna hack a chunk out of it on both sides. Take the battery, since I have all that, I have this engine, the 19.5 horsepower, has enough clearance in the front here that I can just put a plate over here, make a little, I'll be able to front mount my battery. So I won't have any wires going all the way to the rear end no more. All the wires are gonna be running along here to there, which is gonna make wiring so much easier, and I'm gonna be able to wire it without the engine in it. So yeah, more room to, I'm gonna actually like try to make a nice looking loom because my other one's like complete BS. These are gonna go, I'm gonna chop the fenders about either here or there. I'm not sure yet. I might just chop down here, and then I'm gonna take my seat, sink it in here, because with the seat the way it is, I can put a ruler and just make a mark where I need a cut, and then from that mark I can go, and from the mark I'm gonna be making from there to there, I can make a line with tape. Bing, bing, boom. Shing, shing, shing. No measuring. I do not measure. I use tape when I cut stuff. I just use masking tape, and I lay that shit as straight as I can. and just cut it. So I'm gonna cut the seat, cut this part out, and I'm gonna sink this seat way down here, way down in here, as low as I can get it, and weld it into the fender. So the seat is gonna be the fenders are the seat. There's not gonna be, so I'm gonna be losing this bracket in weight, these springs in weight, a bunch of weight. Like these parts are gonna be reused to bucket the seat, because I'm gonna be making like the seat into a bucket. So it's gonna hold you in, it's like gonna grasp you into the seat. And it's not gonna be all bouncy and shit. So, and since I'm stripping it and all that, I'll be able to take the rear end out, drop it off at my buddy's place, and he can weld it when he feels like it. So, yeah. But before I take the rear end out, I'm gonna keep it as a roller for the moment, rip the wiring out. Since I have a welder now, I can just cut here like this. Make a everywhere where there's these big holes, I'm just gonna cut out nice like shapes that I can recreate with plates, throw them in there and tack it, and then I can position all my switches and stuff in one general location that's not like janky like this. Well, this is not too bad. That's really not too bad. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's where I'm at. Headlights are here. These are my headlights. 2 little marine pods for boats. They're quite cheap on Amazon. They weren't that expensive. Safe Go. That's the brand. They work really good. They're really bright for their size. And they're not over bright, so you don't like freaking blind yourself, like blind people. Because I do ride this thing on the side of the road and stuff like that to get from point A to point B. And since I'm going to be changing the front end, I'll be able to make one of these with, I have them over here. I bought these like a year ago, but I would have needed like help to do it. See, they're already started. So I bought these to make some better like I can make them adjustable and stuff. So, and this is just a bolt that I threw in a drill truck and put my grinder in the vise when I had a bench in the corner over there that is no longer existent. And then had this spinning on the drill with the grinder spinning in the vise and just so it's a nice little flat, and it has like a nice concave to it to weld. So I'll be able to do that now. I got some spare little springies. Like, I got so many tractor lawnmower bolts and stuff. These are all bolts from lawnmowers that I stripped. I keep every single bolt, throw them in this bag, and if I need a bolt, just look, oh look, I got a bolt. Got everything. I also have this. This is an old school seat spring, and I do not know what I'm gonna do with it, but it's spring steel and it's freaking badass. Like, it's got some really dope, like really big mountain points to it. I was thinking maybe like turning this into like a springed trailer hitch somehow. If you know what I mean, like you have it like mounted flat like this in the back, and then you know, have it mounted like this somehow, and then you have like a ball, like maybe have it like this, and then have the ball like right here. And then you could have like the bottom one could be for some lower trailers, and then you could just have like the pin style. Like it'd be it's some heavy duty stuff. Like I step on it and it barely flexes. So don't know. I am gonna have to. Is this my? Yeah, this is my jacked up front fender that I gotta unjack up somehow. I'm gonna figure out how to do that eventually. But yeah, I didn't do much because I hurt myself yesterday, and I was in yesterday night, and I was in crutches yesterday, and now I'm back on my 2 feet after one day. I almost broke my heel, but that's no worries. Shrugged it off like it was you know, like a common cold. But you know, stuff happens. Know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a little update for where we're at with this thing, and I'll probably be able to get some more work on it tomorrow. If I can move my foot better. Today it was kind of sketchy. I pulled the engine off, but it was quite the sketchiness for moi. But I did it. Gotta finish stripping the whole outer body of it so I can put it back on the ground. Well, I could pull out all the tensioners and stuff, but I need the engine in it to build the new clutch, which I really want to build a new clutch, which I might just find the bracket. I might just find the piece, because there's some that comes with the kind of clutch I want, and or if I could just find a piece of metal that's in the basic shape that I need, I could use that, because I already have pulleys there, and I already have a flat side steel pulley that's over here. That's like literally brand new. Where is it? Floppy disks and stuff. Oh, there you go. It's right here. See? I got a really good, like, flat-faced pulley that's out of metal. And as you can tell, as I'm spinning it, like, the bearings are mint. Like, this thing is sweet. It's ready to go. So, I'm going to be using this in the clutch. The new clutch that I'm going to be making for it, because I need that extra tension for what I'm doing. And with all the horsepower this boy is going to be doing. And if anybody knows, I was doing the math real quick, because if you take 19.5, divide it in 2, that would be 7.75 per cylinder horsepower. Right? If I'm right, like, don't quote me on that. And I was maybe thinking of, instead of having this extremely, like, overly complex, like, manifold with like this weird carburetor that I do not know how to work with, I was thinking maybe of using some 10 or 12 horsepower Briggs & Stratton header intake manifolds, and making it dual carb. And that way I could still use I could still technically use the vacuum pump. Yes. Oh yeah, because the vacuum line's there. So I could use the vacuum pump to feed those two carbies. And then I have dual carbs. I'd be getting more fuel per side. And I could have like if I could make the best flowing exhaust for this thing, it would most likely give it more. In my head, it's like more fuel, more exhaust coming out with a better, shorter manifolds, more air per side, because those carbs right now is like feeding this engine through that little hole, but then I'd have that hole times 2. So in my head, it's like more power. I ain't gonna make more power with the carburetors, you know, like the old school Beetles. They had like quad carbs and stuff like that. I'm thinking about maybe trying to do a dual carb setup on that thing. Make it real nice and oga-doga, you know? But the problem is to figure out the linkage, but that is utterly probably more easy than easier than what I can figure out. I was thinking maybe of having the carbs, because one carb's going to be going that way, this way, and the other one's going to be going that way. One's going to go this way and the other one's going to go that way. The throttles are going to be like here and the other one's going to be there, and they both do this. So I could like put a wire from this one to that one and just have a cable pull on the one there, and then it would pull both throttles exactly at the same time. But that's just a plan, so you guys can like if people know more, you can shoot your thoughts at me and could give me pointers that if I'm just being utterly retarded or that is something that is 100% plausible. And I need to know, does this plastic fan here separate from the flywheel? Because if it does, I'm gonna grab the fan off this one and put it on this one, because this fan on the other underside of here, like this ring here, is completely melted. Like it's paper thin, and like you can see where this one's rubbed a little bit, because I guess the last person, somebody who had put it together once, didn't pull on here to like bring it as high as possible when they bolted it down. So it must have been rubbing, because I checked inside and you can see a ring where it was rubbing. It didn't rub for a long time, but just enough to freaking make the fan go to freaking hell. And I'm probably gonna, and I really do want this mesh grill here so I can put on top of there. This one supposedly has new pistons in it, so that could be useful for spare parts. So yeah, tell me what you know, and tell me if my plan for my idea of putting dual carbs on this thing is worth it or not. Leave a like, do whatever the hell you want, and we'll see you in the next one, eh? Yeah, boy.